Today we have very special guest who is working on the cutting edge AI innovations. Joining us today, Rasswanth Shankar, working as AI engineer at Lyzr.ai. AI agents are the hot topic right now. Can you explain in simple terms what agentic AI is and why it's different from the ChatGPT models?
This is something that I always say is that AI will not replace you, but a person who's using AI might.
For freshers aiming for internships, what can they do to stand out in the interviews?
And you have a link that I can open and see. That is going to be very good advantage because I don't see it in almost a lot of people. Nobody does that extra step. Don't be afraid of using tools. It's not a shortcut. It's rather that is the exact reason why AI is in place is that it's going to automate your tasks. While you're implementing, you'll know what you don't know. That is how you constantly learn. So my step is even if you don't know anything, get started. Set a hard time limit of after this you should and you will not work basically.
Can you share the mistakes that students and developers need to avoid while learning the AI?
Mm,
Hi everyone, welcome back to the another exciting episode. Today we have very special guest who is working on the cutting edge AI innovations at Lyzr.ai. Lyzr.ai is a platform redefining the way how AI solutions are built and deployed. If you have ever wondered how AI engineers create powerful AI models or how to become an AI engineer, if you are stuck with all these questions, then you are in a right place for a treat. Joining us today, Rasswanth Shankar, working as AI engineer at Lyzr.ai. He is here with us to share all his insights, journey, and expert knowledge on the world of AI. Rasswanth, we are super excited to have you on this podcast. How are you doing?
hi Ramesh. Thank you so much for having me. It was really nice to be here and I'm doing great today.
Yeah, before we dive in, can you give us a brief intro about Lyzr AI? I mean, what problem is it actually solving?
Right. So, Lyzr is in a single word, enterprise level agentic AI builder platform. So let's break it down a bit more. Is that so we have our agent builder platforms such as Crew AI,
Hmm.
LangChain, most
Yeah.
of these. So they are enabling you to build AI agents. And what Lyzr does a bit different is that number one is we are enterprise ready, we are production ready right
Yeah.
out of the beginning, and most importantly, we are low code. So that is the main thing that Lyzr is trying to achieve is that anybody can AI. So not just the developer should be able to build agents, even a CEO or even a marketing person should be able to automate his workflow with AI agents because AI agents not restricted to techies. It's for everybody.
You are an AI engineer at Lyzr AI. I mean, what does a typical day in your role look like? I mean, what kind of problems do you solve in your
Right.
day-to-day life?
Right. So it's very interesting because in a startup you get to do a lot of stuff. So I personally work on implementing solutions for customers. So right from end to end, that is from their requirement gathering to building it to deploying and testing is my entire workflow. I handle all of it. So this is where it becomes interesting is that when you're handling with something that is constantly evolving, constantly being innovated, you get to do a lot more than that. Imagine if you're building a front end UI with, let's say, a front end framework. You have the framework, rules are set, you know the guidelines to build something. But when it comes to something building like AI agents, there is no rule set because it's constantly evolving. So you come up with something, and you like personally talking about me, I come up with something that is, I feel, this would be interesting for an agent to do and go and implement that in the product itself. So it's quite interesting in terms of what you can do because there is no limitation on what you should do. You can obviously take the liberty at doing what interests you, what you find exciting. But on a normal day, I mostly work on client related stuff. But on the other hand, when I think something is interesting and something needs to be there, needs to be implemented, I do work on that as well.
AI agents are the hot topic right now. Can you explain in simple terms what agentic AI is and why it's different from the ChatGPT models?
Right. So I give this very interesting example when I talk about is that Let's say LLMs. Let's say
Okay.
LLMs are your brain.
Okay.
And what do you do with brain? You can think. That is pretty much it. What you can do with your brain. But let's say agents are like your hands and legs. With agents, you can do much more than think. That is take action. That is how I would put this into. You need an LLM for an agent to work, but a LLM will be the brain of you. But agents can execute actions. That is how I would differentiate. Powered by an LLM, but doing much more what, like, going out of the box and doing something more than what LLM's capable is what an agent can do. So agentic behavior, agentic AI, everything, like, they are all words used one and the same, is basically an agent, which is an entity that is much more than an LLM, that basically does automated tasks or even make decisions for you and do tasks that are not just thinking but action. That is how I would define agent.
Okay. I mean, suppose considering a real world application, suppose if you want to book any vacation, so what we humans usually used to do is, I mean, manually we used to verify all the things. I mean, checking the prices, verifying the confirmations, all used to do. Right?
Hmm.
In such scenarios, how can a agent can deal with that?
Right. So let's say in this case, of course, we've all used ChatGPT. So,
Right. True.
if I tell ChatGPT to say, I give it a tool. Let's say I give it a tool that can use an API which will book flights. Let's say there is a simple tool that I'm attaching with my agent. So my LLM, like ChatGPT model, can tell when to hit that and what to do with that tool. Like, let's say I've defined that is to search flights. That is all. That model, if I say, I want a flight from Chennai to Bangalore, it will
Yeah.
know that I have to hit this API because it's good enough to think in that way.
Okay.
But giving it a tool will make that LLM model complete that action. It will not only just say, you should go here and check it, but rather it will do it for you and give you that result. So this is how you can differentiate what LLM are, what agents are. So LLM will tell you should go here and check it, but the agent will actually do that action for you and tell you, hey, here are the list of things that I found for you based on your query. Tell further. If you want to book this, if you want to add, passenger details, all of them, uh, basically it will do actions for you. In this case, this is how I see it. So searching, after that adding your details, what name, age, including if it includes passport, it will ask for all of it and gather all the details and do the action for you. This is how an agent could be helpful in terms of booking a flight, for example.
Okay. It's like a mission with a super brain. I mean, reducing all the human effort, consuming the
Exactly.
time.
Reducing automated tasks. If I have to book Chennai to Bangalore
Okay.
today, next week I'm booking Bangalore to Chennai. Only
Okay.
thing that will change is the date and time.
Okay.
My details are going to be the same. My card details are going to be the same, probably. So in that way, if I do an agent, all I have to say is just book a flight ticket tomorrow from Chennai to Bangalore. If it knows what it has to do and can do an action, my time is being saved. And this is one such example. Imagine taking a large scale example of, if you're a social media company, for example, you need to churn out content and post them, and not only in one media. Let's say, so now LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, these are the three medias that you have. So mostly you would be reusing content, because if there is an announcement, you want to post it in all three places, but the way you post that content in all three places is very different.
Okay.
And like, one content will work in Twitter but the same will not work in Instagram. So you will have to do some sort of content modification for each of these. But imagine an agent is there, that you give a blueprint of the content that you're going to type. It gives out individual posts that you have to post for each of them. And imagine if it actually does it, like goes ahead and posts it and gives you the link saying, hey, I've done it for you. So this would save a lot of time. You will be the person writing the content, but this will be, making it fine tuned for each of the social media platform that you're wanting to post. So in this case, there's so many ways that you can automate repetitive stuff, basically using agents.
Just we need to give our requirement, and then some security secret credentials.
Correct. So you'll have to link with tools, and lately you would have been hearing a lot about MCP servers. So
Yeah.
you'll have to give an agent a way to interact, basically.
Hmm.
That interaction, if you handled it, it will be tool calling, it could be MCP servers, anything. But if you give the means for it to access or do that action, you're good to go. It can do it on its own.
I mean, how do you see agentic AI evolving in the next few years? I mean, are we moving towards a world where AI can manage business autonomously?
Uh, this is something that I always say is that
Hmm.
AI will not replace you, but a person who's using AI might.
Will replace.
You'll have to constantly automate your boring stuff so that you can give time to your most important or time taking stuff. So I can sit and think about how to solve this problem. But let's say I'm writing a, it's very in developer ways, it's something that we all do because let's say I want to read a PDF and convert it into, Instagram post, for example. Reading a PDF, I don't even have to sit and write the code because
Yes.
it's available. It
Yes.
can be automated. But my thing is that I want to know how to write the post, or like what are the guidelines on write to go, or the entire data flow itself. So in this way, that is how you can see agents, that your important tasks you can give time in deciding, but your automated task that is repetitive, you can give it to your agent to do it.
I mean, what skills does someone need to break to get into this AI engineer role? For freshers, where they need to start to get into this AI engineer?
Right. So, how I think is that you'll need to be very good at building stuff. Building meaning engineering. That is how I
Oh,
would define in terms
okay.
of. So you'll need to be either good at building backend solutions that are, like how an API works, how do you connect to a backend. So you'll have to be very good at building something, because you see machine learning algorithms or deep learning algorithms, or anything that you have to do with data are algorithms. So they would be mathematics that will solve a problem, but that problem you'll have to deliver it to a usable person. Like you can solve a problem, but you have to make it usable by a customer in
Okay.
simple terms. So that is where not only of course machine learning and of course understanding about how LLMs work, how to even use them, and what are they capable of are very helpful. These are a must. But on the other hand, on top of that, that is not only thing that is going to be helping you, but you'll have to know how to build, how to engineer solution out of that algorithm so that you can present it that someone would be buying. So ideally, you're building something so that someone buys or uses your product, and you'll have to do something or build it in a way that it's usable. So that is why I would say, not like, of course, machine learning algorithms are important, but on the other hand, you'll have to be either good with any of the tech stack that is going to help you become a very good developer. Let's say just backend, purely backend, for example. Any language, totally fine. Python is the one that we're going with currently. Python, and let's say any a fast API, for example, how to build a backend server, and then use of databases, both databases, and now we have more databases such as vector database and more like Elasticsearch, and so multiple databases, and how to scale something. How do I, if I you will always build with one user, but you will
Okay.
serve to 100,000 user.
Yeah.
How to scale it? So these are things that you have to be very good at, or at least know how to do that.
For experience, suppose they are doing, I mean, currently they are doing some testing or development projects. They want to transition their career into this AI.
Hmm.
Yeah. How can they can able to achieve that?
For people who are already experienced, then they can build using these. So they would already have an idea on how to build stuff. So
Yeah, true.
using these LLMs, these agents is what will be new for them. So that is where it would be more and purely hands-on. You will have all these platforms, for example. From LangChain to Lyzr. All these
Yeah.
platforms help you build or get you started on how to build these. So with the additional knowledge that you have on how to build a solution out of it, you'll just need to integrate how do I build these AI agents or make use of them. So that will definitely come on, thinking about a problem that you're facing today. Let's say today morning, I wanted to know uh, how to edit my photos. Let's say I had a photo, I wanted
Okay.
to be edited in a particular style. Let's say I can build something very quickly out of it using our models currently. So
Okay.
I thought about it today morning. So let's say tomorrow I know the engineering, I have engineering skills. So I just build out something very quickly and get my hands dirty. That is how I would recommend people go about it.
Okay. For reference regarding these LLMs, any reference, I mean, any course or any documentation that you suggest?
Uh, Personally, you can pick the most famous one. Let's say ChatGPT is the OpenAI is the most famous one because they support variety of it, right from image, audio to text. All these models are supported by them. So you can pick that, and YouTube would be the best guide for you. Just go for it and be specific on what you want. Today, if you're learning on how to build an AI agent, just go for that. Building an AI agent that will do A, B, and using OpenAI. Just make it very simple, make it very distilled on what you want to know, and that is how I would recommend. Just don't say AI agents how to build, but rather go on what use case you want to build. So that is how I would. And now that we have LLMs, they will help you a lot than existing videos. So they could tailor the content for you specifically.
I mean, many students get stuck in the loop of which course should I take, right? Do you recommend any roadmap or a specific learning resource to master
Uh,
this
this
AI
is something
development?
that I didn't have in college, but right now people that are in college have this option. Is that you pick what you want to be. What is the problem that you're solving? Pick it and define roadmap. Like what is the start? What is my input? What is the process? What is the output? And from there, just get into coding. Like coding, get started. And while on the go, if you're stuck somewhere, take help from LLMs, take help from YouTube. What exactly is what you're stuck on? How to build a rack system? Go and read about it. How to build an agent? Go and read about it. How do I use multiple models? Read about it. How do I implement cache? Read about it. So just while you're implementing, you'll know what you don't know. That is how you constantly learn. So my step is, even if you don't know anything, get started. Define what you want to do. What is the problem that you're solving? From there, you will have a better idea on what you have to do next.
Thinking for hours and hours, it won't create any impact. We just
Correct.
need to jump in. We just need to implement practically.
Correct.
Getting into the AI startups versus big companies. What's the difference in work culture and learning opportunities?
Right. I've worked in two companies, and both have been startups. And I've been very clear about the decision on I would like to work in startups because that is where I can grow or learn a lot. In we're coming to very specific to Lyzr, for example, nobody says this is your task. You will have to only do this. Nobody says that to me.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, if I find something very interesting, find a research paper that is very cool, I'll I'll be like, you know what, this is very cool that I want to build it in Lyzr, and that will automatically that I would go and tell the team, hey team, okay, this came out, I'm going to build it, and you will test it next week. So there is no hard limit on, oh, this guy shouldn't build it because he'll probably break it, or he doesn't have the production level experience, so I don't want him to build. Nobody says no. If it's something you're confident, go ahead and do it. So that is what most startups I've seen, is that you get the absolute freedom of doing whatever you want. On top of that, it's so much to learn. It's so much to get and learn from. I have amazing colleagues. I have amazing seniors who I can learn a lot from, and that is what I think is great about startups.
Okay. I mean, few of my viewers are working in the startups, but they used to hustle. Like they used to struggle with the timings. I mean, most of the heavy stress work. Right? In that challenges, how can they can able to tell?
Right.
It's
One thing that I would definitely recommend anybody doing is that set a hard time limit of, after this, you should and you will not work, basically. Uh, so for that, for me, it is Friday evening 7 p.m. to Monday morning 10 p.m. Even if
okay.
like Friday evening, I'll log off like 7. Monday
Okay.
morning, I'll log in at 10. These two
Okay.
days are strictly for me. If someone says, hey, I need this help, I'll say, like, come back Monday. So in that, like, I'm happy to do it on Monday if it required.
Okay.
I don't mind sitting, if it's a high priority. If I had to sit till 10 p.m., I don't mind doing it. One day I can do, and the next day people would know that, I had done that over the night. So,
Okay.
you take a half day later. So, you could just go and tell, I did this. So, tomorrow I think I'll come like 1 or 2 hours later because you all know it was very important. I did that for you. So, let me take a break for myself. So, most importantly, you'll have to know what your boundary is and set that boundary and communicate it very clearly with the team. And then nobody will have issues. Nobody will say, you're not doing work. Uh, it's just basically you'll have to communicate. That's it.
Prioritizing the task is also important, right, for any company, working at any company.
Correct. So that is also very true. Your core, the reason why you're there is something you'll never have to give up on. Like, you're there for building something. You'll have to do that. On top of that, there's something you can prioritize accordingly, but you'll never have to give up on what you're there for in the first place.
So true. What kind of AI interview questions should candidate can expect for fresher if they want to enter into this AI engineer career? Do they need to know ML algorithms, system design, or just coding is enough?
Right. Of course, this is going to be vary upon the job description at the end. But
Okay.
something that you shouldn't skip is coding. That is data structures, basically, because that is if even if you're a fresher or an experienced person, that is something that will remove the barriers. Let's say if I'm asking you a data structure question, I can judge how good you are based on
Okay.
the answer you're giving me. If you're 10 years experience or if you're 6 months experience, because it's like an unbiased judgment of how good a candidate is. That is why I would never, I will always urge someone to be good at, problem solving, be good at data structures because you don't have like if that was not there, a 10-year experienced person will always have an advantage over 6 months year 6 months person experienced person
Okay.
because that is how it works. More
True.
experience, more value. But that is the reason why a platform like lead code, the thing like data structure exists is because that removes that barrier of entry. If you're good at it, you
Okay.
can do it. So I
Okay.
will never say do not give up on coding. Always be good at coding because it will always help you prove yourself. But on top of that, have good projects, have good interest or like the passion. Basically, show that you mean it, that you actually want to do this, and that is pretty much it. Other than that, it'll be based on the description. So mainly, you can definitely having ML algorithms is a great addition. Knowing how transformers work is a great addition. So these are all additions, but basics never quit coding. Be good at it.
I mean, learning any programming language or any new tool. In future, they might we can expect new tools or new frameworks. But basics are very, very, very crucial.
Correct.
I had a few questions from my viewers. With your permission, can
Sure, sure, of course.
I answer? I just picked up the crucial ones.
Sure.
For freshers aiming for internships, what can they do to stand out in the interviews?
Um, build something that I can see. If I'm looking at your resume and
Okay,
like I can of course read at your achievements and your goals, but let's say you build something that is very cool and you have a link that I can open and see. That is going to be very good advantage because I don't see it in almost a lot of people. Nobody does that extra step. So
okay,
build something that is very cool, uh, and have a link that I can see uh, should be very helpful.
Okay, placing live links, deployment links.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
most of the people will neglect. I mean, they just do the project and they just left off. They just maintain only the theoretical stuff.
Correct.
Okay, we need to carry the practical as well.
Correct.
Practical as well. Okay. And the next one, there is still a lot of talk about AI replacing jobs. What's your take on this? Should developers be worried?
Uh, Focus on solving problems, not I mean, yeah, anybody who solves problem will never go out, never get outdated. So focus on solving a very crucial problem that you're facing, and from there, bigger bigger audience, and from there a very large audience. So always be focused on problem solving, solving some problem. You'll never
Yeah.
go outdated. AI can help you do that much faster, help you solve that problem much faster, but it can't see that problem on its own. You'll have to see it, you'll have to see the solution. So as I said, AI will not replace you, but a person using AI will.
AI will replace. If you were starting your AI journey from scratch today, what would you do differently?
If I'm starting from scratch, hmm,
I
okay,
mean,
I would.
with zero knowledge.
Right, zero knowledge. Okay. First would be picking a programming language, basics. I would have picked Python in this day and time.
Okay.
Picked Python and definitely work on all the interesting new stuff. So something that I did is what I will do again, because when I did when I was in my college life, uh, I did front end, I did blockchain, I did
Okay.
back end, and even a bit of DevOps. So everything I tried, and I
Okay.
realized, okay, what is my interest?
Okay.
Machine learning is and AI is my interest. So that is what I would say. Just keep constantly building whatever you find interesting, whatever is the news. Even if you're going for the trend that is currently set, go for it, build something solid, and you'll know if you like it or not. So just keep building.
I mean, at the early stage of college life,
Yeah,
uh,
it
we
was
need to explore all the things. How important is mathematics? Uh, like ML theory, statistics, or linear algebra in AI roles?
they are quite useful actually, because
Okay.
for you to understand how an LLM works, mathematics is the basics. It's not
Yeah.
coding, it's mathematics.
Mathematics.
Uh, for you to use something, you'll have to understand how it's working. For you to understand machine learning algorithms, AI algorithms, mathematics is the base. So it's very good to have that foundation so that you'll know how they're built, and
Okay.
when you know how they are built, you know what they're capable of.
Okay.
So it's good to have, definitely good to have.
Can you share the mistakes that students and developers need to avoid while learning the AI?
Mm, do not skip before you finish what you started.
Okay.
Today I've seen something in the news. I started building it. Tomorrow I would see something. I'd probably leave this and go there. Uh,
Okay.
that cycle, I've done it, but is something that everybody should avoid. If you start something, build it to end and make sure it's visible. Make sure why you started and what you wanted to solve is done, so that
Yeah.
it provides value and meaning for you, that you build something and you accomplish something. And for someone who's going through the same problem, your solution would be helpful for them. So you starting and leaving it midway will not help you also, that person also. But you starting something that is probably 3 months old at today is still fine. That's still a problem that you solved at the end of the day, and you will definitely have someone who's having the same problem, and you can help them. So definitely go fully on what you're starting.
I mean, most of the people prefer shortcuts.
Hmm.
So, does shortcuts help for success?
Uh, Not on the long run, no.
It's a
I
temporary, right?
Yes, I've had ups and downs. You know, uh, Whenever working, I've been laid off also. So
Okay.
something that I never, doubted is that my skills or my capability, because I never took shortcuts. I know the way that I started, way that I've come. So for me to upgrade myself or get into something better was not at all a question. It was something that I always had the confidence. But if I had taken shortcuts, I would constantly keep doing that my entire my life, and at some time I would be exposed. So it's much better you build your foundation strong. After that, is everything is just going to come towards you.
Excellent. So inspiring. Really. What's the best way to build AI projects that stand out? I mean, doing projects on chatbots or LLMs or agents can add value to a resume.
Surely, yes, definitely yes. But you have many tools currently. For example, Lovable, let's say.
Yeah,
Lovable is
globally.
something that will help you build a front end in like half an hour.
Seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
half an hour max. You would have been done by. So build something. Use these AI tools. Build something
Okay.
really, really fast. Don't be afraid of using tools. It's not a shortcut. It's rather that is the exact reason why AI is in place, is that it's going to automate your tasks. It's going to make
Okay.
your life easier.
Okay.
So make sure you use all these AI tools, come up with something that is really cool, and put it in something a way that someone who's viewing your resume can click it and see it. So that is very important. So don't be afraid of using AI tools. Use them and build something that is really cool that anybody can take value out of it.
So what's one piece of advice that you would like to give for the students who want to transition into this, who want to get a successful career into this AI?
So this is something that is relatively new. So if I'm looking at someone, and for me to say, he knows, I'll have to have either of these things. That is to know that you worked on something similar before, or know that you're experienced enough to, or even capable enough to learn something very quickly. So you'll have to demonstrate either of these, that you either worked on this before, that you have the knowledge, or you have the capability to learn something that is very quick. So this is what I will, because since this is an ever evolving
Yeah.
field, I don't have a metric to say he's good at AI, he's not good at AI. I would just look at these two parameters and say that is someone promising. So that is what I would say. Just demonstrate either of these, then you're good.
Ashwant, your journey and experiences have been really eye-opening, and I'm sure our viewers has taken some golden insights today. Thank you once again for taking the time to join us and sharing your expertise. And for more such insightful updates about AI, do follow Rasswanth Shankar on LinkedIn. If you found this episode valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, let us know in the comments what's your biggest takeaway was. And stay tuned for more amazing conversations. Until next time, keep learning, keep building, and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.